Are you a business owner that could use just one more customer? Those empty tables, vacant appointments, idle employees, and expired merchandise are missed opportunities. What if there were a community that connects you to high-value and motivated customers, giving you a competitive edge in the marketplace and increasing your revenue? Introducing Partners One. You keep doing what you do best, taking care of your customers, and we'll do what we do best, sending you new customers to take care of. Call us today to find out how Partners One can work for your business.
Welcome to the Rocket Right Show, starring Hurricane Betsy Barnes and Dr. K. Solar. Two busy blondes with their fingers on the pulse of all things Louisiana. Events, health, leisure, entertainment, and more. It's the Rocket Right Show. And now, here's Betsy and Kay.
And we love it when you rock it right, when you join us and you get to come into our conversations and just share a few fun things that are going on in and around Louisiana. You know, the who's, what, where, when, how. And so we wanted to really just spend a little time in this particular show talking about some of the things that are going on in our community and around our state. And we're happy to have Kevin Gallagher, the co-host of the Exiles show, our original producer. Lord only knows how he put up with us, really, for all that time right here.
It was a real, sincere pleasure. It really was.
He can keep up with all our talk, that's for sure.
Yeah, and I'm glad that you're going to talk with us today, and we're going to talk about some what's on your mind stuff, because there's a lot of stuff on folks' minds. I can't wait to get into that.
Well, ladies first.
Yeah. And you know, but we want to make sure that people know that we're also going to be talking with the Secretary of the Louisiana Department of Veterans Affairs. Colonel Joey Strickland is here, and we're so happy that he's come back. There are some great programs and grants and other types of opportunities for veterans across our state. So he's going to join us for a couple of segments. And then we're going to talk about doing something to help protect our protectors. The Central Police Department is actually hosting a fundraiser to help buy Angel armor for their police officers August 28th. And we're going to be talking a little bit about that.
Wow.
So
Have you ever seen Angel armor?
Yes.
That's
Isn't it
really,
amazing?
really impressive stuff.
Yes.
I mean, it'll stop a rifle bullet.
It will, thank God. We're glad that it does.
Apparently, we're needing that, and that's one of the things that's on our mind the crime.
Crime is crazy in Baton Rouge. I do not know what to do about it. But
so do we want to go ahead and just kind of lead off with that?
Let's just jump in.
Let's just jump in. I mean, I have a lot of things, and I know a lot of people have a lot of things on their mind, what you want to talk about. So that's one of the things. I think crime, every time you look at any media, it's like Baton Rouge, oh my gosh, we're the #1 murder place per capita in the country for us tiny little town. Mm-hmm. And then when you look at all of them, we're number 6 ahead of
we're right
New
up there
Orleans.
with Baltimore.
Yeah, we are. We're right up there with Baltimore.
And there's not enough police officers in any department that are coming forward.
We're losing police officers.
We're losing police officers. Well,
because who wants to do it?
Right.
You know, thank goodness for those who still do.
We have a society that doesn't appreciate them and treats them like they're the villains, not the criminals.
Yeah.
And, a lot of cops are taking retirement as soon as they're eligible. Some are taking early retirement. Some are just saying screw it and quitting.
Yeah. That's right.
And we need more cops. I think that's the only real answer. Cops can't prevent crime, but their presence can certainly deter it.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
There was a time when you'd see the police, they'd be, patrolling, but there's fewer of them now, and they can't be everywhere at the same time.
Well, and I know that that's a growing problem all around the country, but we seem to have more than our fair share right here in Baton Rouge. Because when I pulled up some of the statistics, because I knew we were going to talk about that, and some of the stats said that we are 247% higher than the national average for violent crimes. While residents of Baton Rouge have a 1 in 109 chance of becoming a victim of a violent crime. And
I don't like those odds.
I don't know. Those are pretty awful odds when you throw 100 people in a room and you think you're one. We can talk with our guests from the Central Police Department and see if I'm correct on that. But I did look those up, and they looked like they were very fresh stats. And I was like, that's pretty freaking scary. And as far as a property crime, people burglarizing you, trying to carjack you, you got a 1 in 18 chance. It said, that is crazy.
That is crazy.
When you look at a property crime, I'm sure some of those are minor, but some of those are bad property crimes, you know.
With vehicle burglaries, I'm sorry, I think we're our own worst enemy. A lot of the guns that are used in commission of violent crimes are stolen from people's vehicles. And yes, sometimes these burglars will just smash the window and go in there and get whatever. But a lot of times people leave their vehicle unlocked because they think it's safe in their carport or their garage.
Absolutely
You are not safe
Those
in your
days,
carport or garage.
those days
Just in
are
case
gone.
you need to know.
But
Those days are gone, and you should never leave a firearm or any type of weapon
My opinion,
in
you
your
should
car.
never leave a firearm in your vehicle overnight. Take
Absolutely.
it inside.
You're just asking for that to be stolen and to be used on yourself or someone else.
But I think a lot of the problem in Louisiana is also the level and the amount of people that are drug addicted, seriously drug addicted, heroin, fentanyl, all of the opioids, all of the drug abuse that's happened. We're in the top 5 in the country, and there's not enough clinics, there's not enough places. Like one of our sponsors is Advantage Health Solutions, and they are an opioid heroin addiction treatment clinic. There is not enough clinics for all the people that need help, but there's not enough people really going to get help because the mental health system in our state has some challenges. But the problem is that family members have got to hold their family accountable for some of their behavior. And sometimes you have to force people into getting treatment. But I think if you take away some of the drug problem, you take away some of the violent crime, and because people aren't thinking clearly, and that's what scares me, is the person who's not thinking clearly. They don't think about consequences. They're thinking about what do they need right now, and what do I have that they might want.
Of course.
And that's what's frightening.
And definitely, that has escalated during the lockdown and COVID,
That's
and
right.
people are
Depression,
desperate, and they have a lot of time on their hands, you know. And
Well, and it's whatever valuables are in your car. If you've got if they can get their hands on any copper plumbing. I have a friend who lives in my neighborhood, came home one day and it's like, oh my God, it's like 90 in the house. And he went out to take a look at what was wrong with his air conditioner. The outside unit was gone.
that
It
is
was
crazy.
Gone. Because
You think who would walk off with something big like that, right?
Yeah, if you dismantle it, you might be able to get $30, $40 for the copper inside that thing.
But you know, it's really important that people understand businesses don't want to move to a place where there's high crime.
No.
Tourists don't want to come visit. Tourism,
Nope.
as we know and love, it is our 4th largest industry, 4th largest income
Well, let's not
producing
talk about
industry.
tourism. Let's
Yeah.
talk about the people who live right here.
Right.
I can't tell you how many people that I know that are lifelong people love Louisiana. I'll never go anywhere. I want to stay here forever. Are going, I might need to rethink that. I don't
I think a
know
lot
if
of
the
people are
crime
thinking
stays
that.
up. Do I want to be an old person, or do I even want to like have my family in a city that has this much crime?
We
I mean,
have to turn it around.
There's
we
also
have to
this.
turn it around.
There's now no place and no time of day where one can feel like you're reasonably safe.
I know. That is crazy.
I mean, think about what happened a couple of weekends ago. Here's a woman and her daughter, which, by the way, I know the woman, and
Yes,
I'm
we do
still
too.
praying for her. And it's 9 o'clock in the morning. They're outside an Oxner after-hours care on Highland Road
Yeah.
in one of the Tony parts of town, where at 9 on a Sunday morning, the last place on earth you'd expect to be a crime victim.
Right.
And I'm sure
just
they
sitting
weren't
in your car.
They were
And-
just sitting in their car waiting to get paged to go inside because of COVID. You know, they didn't want a lot of people in the waiting room.
Right. And now you think your head needs to be on a swivel, like, 100% of the time. And you can't see that coming, even if your head's on a swivel.
Now,
I mean,
here's the thing. There's a lot of discussion I'm seeing on social media here in Baton Rouge and people in the Baton Rouge area. To what extent can we legitimately blame our mayor and our police chief?
well,
And I don't know what Sharon Weston Broome can do to make thugs and thieves stop being thugs and thieves.
Well, I don't know either, but I was reading a little bit today. I did a lot of reading today, y'all. So, and this little phrase called violence interrupters hit me. Okay, so this safe, hopeful, healthy Baton Rouge initiative that is part of Biden's crime initiative, and we're one of 15 cities that's in it. I mean, now this was a statement not from any of our officials, but from Biden, said that, first of all, you would identify who were the biggest perpetuators of the crime. And then you would have these folks that would be violence interrupters. They would identify these people, and they would kind of halt that cycle because they were just retaliating against something, and they would send social services to like work with them, and that really works. Like I'm not sure that that's going to fix the whole big problem that we got.
I think the interrupters used to be called police officers.
Yeah, but now they're called. Now they have this special term called violence interrupters.
Well,
at least that's what Biden called them.
Well, I just hope they have. I hope they're armed.
How many social workers are going to get shot before they decide that's a bad idea?
I mean, most of them are, I don't think, going to take on that job. I don't know, but I guess they've already trained some, so I guess somebody's going to like.
Well, it's not just a problem for Baton Rouge. It's a problem in every decent-sized American city.
It is.
Even some small. Look at Hammond. Hammond is a small town, and
right.
Hammond's got a terrible violence problem, violent crime.
Well, and just in the first quarter of this year, nationally, it said that. I mean, the homicides are up 24%. Now, that's just talking about that particular crime. And we could go on and on and on about this, and there's so many more issues to talk about. Man, we got to have you back on because,
anytime.
we can chat on these topics
One
really
thing's
good.
for certain, we're not going to solve the crime problem by hugging it out with criminals. It's just not going to happen.
No.
They need more than a hug. They need a little more serious help.
Yeah.
But we want to help Kevin.
Yeah.
With his recovery with Cocktails for Kevin every Tuesday.
And I'm up for a cocktail.
Come talk to us about any subject you want to talk to us about from 5 to 7. Bring a little cash or a credit card. Come get a cocktail.
On Tuesday. So already
we'll be there.
On the 10th was at Solu, but hey, I'm going to be bartending on the 17th. Tuesday, 5 to 7 at the City Pork on Highlands and Perkin in the Wild Boar Bar. I'm
going to be collecting your cash for Kevin because we want to help him with his recovery. Mm-hmm. It's hard to tell me no. I'm just going to say
she's going to be my sidekick. And you can see the rest of the schedule on our Facebook page at Rocket Right Entertainment because we're going to be doing it every Tuesday all month long.
That's right.
And then maybe some more.
We might just do it some more.
And you're going to be hanging with us, right,
I
Kevin?
will. I'll be there.
All right.
Thank you for
so y'all
inviting
can
me
come
back. I
and
appreciate
say
it.
hey to Kevin in person. And up next, what we got happening?
We're going to be talking with Colonel Joey Strickland. He is the Secretary of the Louisiana Department of Veterans Affairs, and there is some excellent programs that can help our veterans, and we certainly need to do that. We're going to be right back on Rocket Right with Hurricane Betsy Barnes, Dr. Kay Solar, and Colonel Joey Strickland.
There's a joy of life you'll find only in Louisiana. A spirit of celebration that takes your senses places they've never been before. Where expressions of joy are an art form and our way of life. Where an abundance of good food, good times, and great music means there's more than enough to go around. Come one, come y'all. Come feed your soul in Louisiana. I'm John Goodman, inviting you to visit LouisianaTravel.com and plan your getaway today.
Young women are joining a movement to educate voters. Why? The need to represent our conservative and moderate values has never been more important. The values that made our nation the superpower it is. If you work, are in college, have children, every decision made at Louisiana State Capitol and City Council meetings impacts your wallet, your home, education, student loans, and everyday life. Become informed and involved through the LFRW Young Women's Initiative across Louisiana. Public policy impacts you and your family. Check out the Young Women's Initiative by emailing lfrw region1vp@gmail.com or call 504-382-3474. We look forward to talking to you soon.
Since the early 1800s, the Selassie family has played a significant role in the retail industry in Louisiana. Stuart Selassie has achieved the Certified Diamond Graduate designation from the prestigious Gemological Institute of America. What that means to you, whether it's appraisals, design, build, repair, or diamond sales, you have an expert you can count on. At Selassie's, you make all the right choices. Selassie Jewelry and Fine Gifts in the heart of the Denham Springs Antique District. Find them on Facebook.
Visit one of our 21 state parks all over Louisiana.
Let's go to the state park. There are 21 of them, you know. And state parks have biking and hiking, tubing, and we can even ride horses. Or we can go exploring and even swim by a beach. They have cabins, really nice ones, with long fishing piers.
Don't forget to tell them about the discounts.
Oh yeah, book 3 nights and we get the 4th night free.
Great job.
Thanks.
Louisiana State Parks, we're ready for your adventure.
Are you a business owner that could use just one more customer? Those empty tables, vacant appointments, idle employees, and expired merchandise are missed opportunities. What if there were a community that connects you to high-value and motivated customers, giving you a competitive edge in the marketplace and increasing your revenue? Introducing Partners One. You keep doing what you do best, taking care of your customers, and we'll do what we do best, sending you new customers to take care of. Call us today to find out how Partners One can work for your business.
You're invited to the Bridal Show of the Future, a new twist on the typical bridal expo. Come out to experience the food, dancing, meet and greet, wedding event professionals, and win fantastic prizes. Friday, August 6th from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. To purchase tickets, please visit thepostbridalshowgonzales.com or follow on Instagram. All proceeds benefiting the VFW Post 3693 of Gonzales. Support your local veterans.
Hi, I'm Dr. Ron McMorris of Elite Chiropractic in Livingston Parish, conveniently located off the I-12 corridor in Walker and Albany. If you suffer from sciatica, migraines, or other pain conditions, give us a call to see if we have a technique that best fits you. We have multiple techniques including chiropractic adjustments, massage therapy, dry needling, rehab, and much more. Again, I'm Dr. Ron McMorris with Elite Chiropractic in Livingston Parish, Walker, and Albany.
We're so glad that you could join us for Rock It Right. We are rocking it right with really, truly, my microphone doesn't want to cooperate.
You're trying to dance with it over there, Betsy. I know. I saw your arms just swinging and you just whacked it and scooted it to the side.
Right.
Because you were trying to practice that new dance for our TikTok station. I know. But we're going to have to make it up off the air. Just
right.
Just saying.
We're so excited to have Colonel Joey Strickland with us. He is the Secretary of the Department of Veterans Affairs. He is the man in charge over all the different veterans programs, services, cemeteries, all the different grants and benevolent programs that help our veterans, and we so greatly appreciate your dedication. Being a veteran yourself,
yes, ma'am,
and all of your children are in military service.
Right. It's a pleasure being here with.
Thank you for joining us,
both of you, Kay and Betsy. I've just it's just a wonderful opportunity, and I really appreciate it. We're a military family. I served our nation for 30 years on active duty. I retired as a colonel in 1994, and 5 of my children are either soldiers or are married to soldiers. And my daughter is with her commanding officer on a Black Hawk somewhere up north, looking at future sites in case we have to put in some alternative COVID sites.
Wow.
Because we're running out of space in hospitals.
Well, and I say that and I bring that up about your family because this is not a bureaucratic type job for you. This is a calling that you have had to serve our nation, to protect and serve our nation and support those that do. And we are huge supporters of veterans and anyone that is willing to serve and protect our nation and our freedoms and give us the rights that our Constitution provides to protect those.
Absolutely. We're really honored in the Louisiana Department of Veterans Affairs to support our state's 300,000 veterans and their families. We have a saying in the department, for us, every day is Veterans Day,
Yes.
and every day is Memorial Day. And the reason why is because every day we're taking care of elderly and combat wounded veterans in our 5 veterans homes throughout the state. And every day we're burying veterans and their loved ones in our cemeteries. So we do this around the clock, 365 days a year. And it is a calling. When I retired from the Army, I had the opportunity to get a high-powered job in Washington. I was at the Pentagon. Matter of fact, I know General Milley, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs, personally, and I was offered opportunities there in Washington. But I was born and raised in Louisiana. I'm a Louisianian. My wife is from Louisiana, and we wanted to come home. And so, and it was too cold and rainy in Washington, D.C.
And the traffic's crazy.
And, yeah, the traffic is even worse than here.
Yeah.
So we came back to Walker, and I'm from Northeast Louisiana, a little town called Tallulah. Tallulah. My father.
A lot of good folks up there.
Yes, my father was a World War II veteran and influenced me into going into the military. And I went in right out of high school, and a couple of years later wound up in combat in Vietnam and served 2 combat tours. Fortunately, I wasn't injured. I came back, and I decided to become an officer, and I retired again in '94. And I was actually hired by the first Edwin Edwards, to run a veterans education program with Dr. Sally Clausen. You probably know her.
Yes.
I don't.
Dr. Clausen, wonderful lady. And
I've met her, yes.
Yes, and so then Mike Foster asked me to come on board as the Secretary of Veterans Affairs. So I've served about 7 or 8 different governors in 2 states over the years.
That's amazing.
And we're honored to have you.
Well, we have some great programs. I was telling Betsy the other day that the Louisiana Department of Veterans Affairs is not our grandfather's department. You know, the departments that we saw in the movie 4th of July during the Vietnam War era or after World War II. It's modern. Matter of fact, medical care is so good in the state of Louisiana. We have 3 VA medical centers and 19 community-based outpatient clinics supporting those veterans. And medicine is so good that veterans want to get into the VA, and even though they might have private insurance. And so we're very happy about that. And the medical care that we provide our veterans in our homes, it's top of the line. A private nursing home can't touch a veteran's home in Louisiana.
And, you know, COVID's been an extraordinary challenge for everyone. But, you know, from the different things that y'all have done to prevent the spread of COVID and to take care of those people and make them feel loved and nurtured, those veterans who need that care, where maybe some other nursing homes didn't have that same opportunity or level of care.
It's been really a difficult challenge for us because when COVID hit last year, we didn't have a weapon to combat it.
Right.
You know, and we were just learning that the key is quarantining and isolating. And we wound up shutting all the homes down to outside visitors, and that was a challenge because these elderly veterans were used to seeing their children, their wives, their you know, their loved ones, and all we could do was offer them a virtual visit, and it was breaking our hearts because, you know, we wanted that connection. But slowly we were able to get the COVID out of the homes. The great story is that 95% of our veterans are vaccinated now, and are doing well. And we're working on our staff. That's been a challenge. We've got about 50. Today I was told 60% of our staff are vaccinated now. So we're doing really good, and we keep the governor informed every day about the situation. We do have some of our homes, some of our wings quarantined because we have 1 or 2 veterans that are vaccinated but are positive, especially with this COVID Delta.
Right.
So, but overall, we're doing great, and we're very honored and happy about that. We've never, our homes are not as full as they were before COVID. Our homes are 156-bed facilities.
Mm-hmm.
We're running at about 120 per home, but people are beginning to come back in. The fear is lessening, and they know that we're going to take care of them.
Mm-hmm. So do you think that gap is because people were afraid to come to the VA home and people were keeping their family members at home?
Yes, exactly. I think they were afraid, and they felt like, well, I'm not going to send my loved one, my veteran, to a veteran's home and take a chance on them dying there.
And they couldn't see them during that period of time as well.
Yeah, and they could
they would rather keep them at home where they knew that they would be able to see them during that time, I'm sure.
But now, as soon as the veteran comes in, first, before they even get there, we make sure that they're vaccinated or that they're going to be vaccinated. And we haven't had a problem with veterans refusing to be vaccinated at all. Well, the biggest problem that we've had is with some of our staff, and it's kind of hard to understand because they're medical folks. But
I think there's just an uncertainty.
There's an
uncertainty of the results and reactions
and I'm
to it.
seeing that across the nation.
Yes.
Well, I think as with any medical things, you got to take each individual, and there are some people who you're never going to get 100% vaccination rate because they have medical issues that maybe it's not in their best, like the gal I'm sure you saw on TV who couldn't go to the University of Hawaii school because she'd had Guillain-Barré with the previous vaccine. Her doctor said, that's not for you. You shouldn't do it.
There are underlying conditions that prevent it.
There's some conditions that folks shouldn't take the vaccine, and so I don't think we're ever going to see that 100%. But some of it is fear of that unknown.
Absolutely, and it's going to always be a challenge for us, but we're getting there. Hopefully, we'll reach a point where we have herd immunity in the state, and we'll be in much better shape. Mm-hmm. But other programs that we have that are functioning, and
you've got a lot of programs for younger veterans, people who are maybe in their 20s.
Absolutely.
30s, 40s, and we want to talk about that a little bit, and then we want you to stay over into the next segment because there's a lot of great things, educational opportunities, and others that we want you to share. So tell us a little bit about a couple of those that are right on the top.
Well, one of the programs that we're the most excited about, Louisiana has 9,000 student veterans. They're all Iraq, Afghanistan veterans, and when I came back from Vietnam as a 22-year-old, and I went back to college because I took a 2-year break from the Army, I went back to college and I landed on campus. I felt isolated. Mm-hmm. I didn't even know there was no veterans. If there were, I didn't know who they were, and so I didn't want veterans to go through that experience. And so, working with the Lieutenant Governor's office and Betsy's folks, we were able to get a grant through the AmeriCorps Foundation for $300,000.
Wow.
And we're in our third year of getting that grant, and using that money and seed money from the legislature, we've been able to establish 32 student veteran centers on every college and university campus throughout the state of Louisiana.
That's wonderful.
Well, hang tight, because stay with us. Colonel Joey Strickland with the Department of Veterans Affairs is going to tell us more about that great grant through the AmeriCorps program to help veterans and feel comfortable in college. So we'll be right back with Rocket Right. Hang tight.
My biggest concern was my family and being able to see me come home every day and know everything is going to be okay. I felt comfortable that I was being treated by some of the best. There were some scary points along the way, but it's just kind of like been a little blip in the road.
Money, wellness, fun. Rocket Right Radio takes you all across Louisiana and the nation with guests who live life to the fullest.
I'm Hurricane Betsy Barnes.
I'm Dr. Kay Solar.
You're gonna love it.
Join us every week when we cover
everything under the sun.
Live and learn with the Wright sisters.
Politics,
health,
music and entertainment,
local agnet.
Rocket Right Radio. You're gonna love it.
Whitetail Properties is not your average real estate company. Land specialist and MSU alum Jeff Taylor in Mississippi and LSU fan realtor Cade Taylor have teamed up. Their sole purpose is uniting buyers and sellers of recreational land. If you're interested in hunting, ranch, investment, and timber properties, Whitetail Properties experts have the right real estate for you. Call Jeff Taylor, 601-248-9433, or Cade Taylor, 225-719-0495, or visit whitetailproperties.com.
You're invited to the Bridal Show of the Future, a new twist on the typical bridal expo. Come out to experience the food, dancing, meet and greet, wedding event professionals, and win fantastic prizes. Friday, August 6th from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. To purchase tickets, please visit thepostbridalshowgonzales.com or follow on Instagram. All proceeds benefiting the VFW Post 3693 of Gonzales. Support your local veterans.
At Hightower Dental Concepts, we take a compassionate approach to family dentistry. Our goal is to make your dental experience comfortable and informative so you can make the best dental care decisions for you and your family. We're welcoming new patients to our dental family at Essen & Perkins, and we look forward to meeting you soon at Hightower Dental Concepts. Call us today at 769-0031 or request your appointment at info@dentalconceptsbr.com.
Young women are joining a movement to educate voters. Why? The need to represent our conservative and moderate values has never been more important. The values that made our nation the superpower it is. If you work, are in college, have children, every decision made at Louisiana State Capitol and City Council meetings impacts your wallet, your home, education, student loans, and everyday life. Become informed and involved through the LFRW Young Women's Initiative across Louisiana. Public policy impacts you and your family. Check out the Young Women's Initiative by emailing lfrw-region1vp@gmail.com or call 504-382-3474. We look forward to talking to you soon.
There's a joy of life you'll find only in Louisiana. A spirit of celebration that takes your senses places they've never been before. Where expressions of joy are an art form and our way of life. Where an abundance of good food, good times, and great music means there's more than enough to go around. Come one, come y'all. Come feed your soul in Louisiana. I'm John Goodman, inviting you to visit LouisianaTravel.com and plan your getaway today.
Right, we are so glad that you stayed with us so you could hear more about the wonderful things that our Louisiana Department of Veterans Affairs have going on. I'm Hurricane Betsy Barnes here with Dr. Kay Solar and Colonel Joey Strickland of the Department of Veterans Affairs. So before the break, you were telling us a little bit about a $320,000 AmeriCorps grant that was going to help veterans who want to go back to school, go back to college. And how many programs did you say that that's funding?
We have 32. There's 32 colleges and universities in the state. Well, actually 33 in the state of Louisiana, and we have veteran centers on 32 of the 33.
So if we're a veteran and we walk in and we want to go back to school, we're a little iffy.
If you are a veteran, let's just take one college. Let's take Nichols, for example. If you're a veteran and you walk on campus, you don't even have to go to the registrar's office. You go to the Veterans Center. The registrar's office will come to the Veterans Center. They'll register you. You get all your classes. They'll help you with your payments, everything, and with your housing, everything that you need, and you start classes.
Wow.
And there's
that's wonderful.
There's 253 veterans at Nichols State alone.
Wow.
And these veteran centers are huge rooms with comfortable TVs, sofas, places where veterans can get away from the general student population and be among their peers to share common experiences. And their chances of graduating are twofold. And we've just signed a an agreement with Commissioner Kim where we're going to require the universities to give us the number of veterans that are graduating from college.
That's wonderful.
Awesome.
So you were talking about this program, and you mentioned to us off the air that this program is really top-notch. Tell us about the opportunity to share this nationally.
Well, we wanted to make sure that our veterans were going to graduate, that they were going to stay in school, and that they had support. And so when we came up with this idea, and we went to the legislature initially, and there wasn't any money there, so we turned to the AmeriCorps Foundation, and we got the money, and then the legislature put in some seed money. And we didn't really know what we were doing, but we felt like we had something going on. And all of a sudden it started working, and we went out and we hired the best veteran student on campus, and we made that student a navigator. And we gave that student a $10,000 scholarship.
Wow.
To help the administrator of the Veterans Center. Okay. And so the program has been adopted by the National Association of State Directors of Veterans Affairs as a model program for the nation. And we're going to brief that to all our fellow state directors in Reno, Nevada on 11 September. We're so excited.
That's great.
That is wonderful.
Great.
And that's going to help so many people who are coming out of military service trying to get additional skills, change their skill set perhaps, and go into the career they might have dreamed of before, or maybe until they were in the military they didn't know what they wanted to do, and now they have a taste of what they'd like to do and they want to go further with it.
That's exactly right. And we have a lot of other programs. One of the coming up in the next few days, I say a couple of weeks in September, we're going to host a suicide prevention summit.
So important.
We host that every year. Every year, 22 veterans from around the nation take their lives, and it's a horrible thing. We understand post-traumatic stress. I have 2 children that are combat veterans who struggle with post-traumatic stress, so I'm very much aware of the feelings that brings. And so we're going to host this summit along with the federal VA colleges and universities. And we do that every year. We have over 300 or 400 people attend, and we have great speakers, and we try to figure out how we can get the word out that if you need help, if you're struggling, there's help for you.
Right.
Tomorrow is a better day, and you don't have to take your life.
That's
right.
And so we're going to host that summit around the middle of September, and then Louisiana is very fortunate that we have 30,000 women veterans in our state. We're 30,000 women veterans who don't always know that there are programs at the VA Medical Center, medical programs for them. There are women medical centers that they can utilize.
And I wasn't really aware of that. There would be a difference between women for women specifically in medical centers.
You know, we have stressed to the VA, to the federal VA. The federal VA runs all the medical, and we've stressed to the federal VA that women need their dignity, they need their privacy. They have specific medical issues that they have to have attended, and they need to be able to go to the VA, not have to be worried about male veterans harassing them. Have a private entrance, a private exit, and be treated with the dignity that they've earned through their service.
Well, and it's important for everyone to be treated with dignity and
That's right.
respect, but women's issues may be different than men's issues.
Exactly.
But I think the stigma is lessening about post-traumatic stress disorder, as you were to your point earlier. I do think that more people are accepting the fact that they know someone that needs help, and PTSD can happen, military service or not, to anyone at any given time. And there just needs to be that special opportunity for everyone to get whatever help that they need in a safe environment. And I think that's happening.
Absolutely. And and you're absolutely right, Betsy. Used to, in the past, when I was on active duty, if you were struggling because of combat experiences, you kept it to yourself, especially if you were a commander. You know, I was a colonel, I was commanding battalions. You know, I had to be strong. I couldn't show any sign of stress. Well, now that whole image and idea is changing. We want people to say, look, there's no stigma if you need help. You know, just ask for it.
Right.
We're all human.
Right.
Well, you become a better partner, a better employee, a better parent, a better friend when you feel that you have the help and support that you need.
Absolutely.
I don't know one person that has never been through a difficult time.
No.
You know, and combat is completely different. But the one thing that the military does train you to do is be a leader.
Yes.
And sometimes it also makes you feel like you can't be
That's right.
human or emotional
You can't
or
show
weak.
weakness.
Yeah, and you know what? And I do think that is don't you think that old school mentality was that you can't be weak, you've got to be strong no matter what, never let them see you sweat or never let them see you cry. And I don't think that's the case as much anymore. You're not
No.
going to lose a command over it. You're not going to lose an opportunity over it. I think it's so important for young veterans to understand they might not feel the effects till later.
Absolutely, and we know that if a young veteran, one of the things we run an incarcerated veterans program, and there's about 600 Vietnam veterans incarcerated at Angola. I'm convinced that a lot of those incarcerated veterans committed a crime because they were struggling with post-traumatic stress issues that were not addressed. Right. Had they been addressed, they would not be there.
Right.
Well, and suicide rates. And of course, Louisiana has very high suicide rates among young veterans.
Yes, absolutely.
So the young veterans have an opportunity to be involved in educational programs. You were talking about grants that are available.
There's all kinds of college grants out there. A lot of veterans have the GI Bill. They don't even know it. They come to us and they say, we want to go back to school. So we look through their record. Hey, you qualify for the GI Bill. You haven't used all your benefits. We process all their benefits. If a veteran is struggling with an issue, a medical issue, regardless of what it is that they incurred on active duty, we can open a claim for them, and we can bring money to them every month. We have veterans that didn't even know that they were qualified to get 100% service connection, and we've opened a claim, and they're getting $2,000 or $3,000 a month for the rest of their lives.
You know, and a lot of people say, well, veterans homes, VA, they're not going to help me. I'm just one person. I don't know how to navigate. Mostly it's just confusing.
We have,
they just need help navigating.
And you're absolutely correct, but we have 64 service offices in the 64 parishes, and those service officers are permanent. They live in the community. They're all veterans. They're all college graduates, highly trained counselors, and they want to help veterans. And so all a veteran has to do is find out in his parish where his service office is, go, and they'll open a claim. They'll work with him. They'll help him. It's in private. There's no stigma. It's great.
You know, you really just have a huge umbrella, and you care so deeply about making sure that everybody under that umbrella is taken care of. And so we want to encourage people to please contact the Department of Veterans Affairs and get the help for you or a loved one or a family member that you need, because there's resources you might not even be aware of.
We have all kinds of resources in our department, and last year we brought in to the state of Louisiana $1.7 billion in pension benefits for veterans.
Wow. That's crazy.
It is.
That's awesome.
That's money that goes directly into the veteran's pocket.
Well, you know, I can't believe that our time is up because you had so much going on. We're going to have you back. But before you go, we've got to offer you a cake ball. And Betsy, tell them what's up next, and I'll be Vanna and say, pick your cake ball.
Next, we're going to have the Central Police Department talking about the different things that they're doing to help protect their officers with Angel Armor Vest. Big jambalaya cook-off, 4 bands, seafood. It's going to be a blast. You need to join us for that, and we'll be right back on Rocket Right. Stay tuned.
Hi, I'm Dr. Ron McMorris of Elite Chiropractic in Livingston Parish, conveniently located off the I-12 corridor in Walker and Albany. If you suffer from sciatica, migraines, or other pain conditions, give us a call to see if we have a technique that best fits you. We have multiple techniques, including chiropractic adjustments, massage therapy, dry needling, rehab, and much more. Again, I'm Dr. Ron McMorris with Elite Chiropractic in Livingston Parish, Walker, and Albany.
At Hightower Dental Concepts, we take a compassionate approach to family dentistry. Our goal is to make your dental experience comfortable and informative so you can make the best dental care decisions for you and your family. We're welcoming new patients to our dental family at Essen and Perkins, and we look forward to meeting you soon at Hightower Dental Concepts. Call us today at 769-0031 or request your appointment at info@dentalconceptsbr.com.
Some call it joie de vivre, the joy of life. In Louisiana, it's our way of life. From music that shakes up your senses to food that wakes up your palate. That joy vibrates in every note we play and spices up every meal we serve. So come live life to the fullest. Come one, come y'all, come feed your soul in Louisiana. I'm Sean Ardway, inviting you to plan your trip at louisianatravel.com.
Since the early 1800s, the Selassie family has played a significant role in the retail industry in Louisiana. Stuart Selassie has achieved the Certified Diamond Graduate designation from the prestigious Gemological Institute of America. What that means to you, whether it's appraisals, design, build, repair, or diamond sales, you have an expert you can count on. At Selassie's, you make all the right choices. Selassie Jewelry and Fine Gifts in the heart of the Denham Springs Antique District. Find them on Facebook.
Whitetail Properties is not your average real estate company. Land specialist and MSU alum Jeff Taylor in Mississippi and LSU fan realtor Kay Taylor have teamed up. Their sole purpose is uniting buyers and sellers of recreational land. If you're interested in hunting, ranch, investment, and timber properties, Whitetail Properties experts have the right real estate for you. Call Jeff Taylor, 601-248-9433, or Kay Taylor, 225-719-0495, or visit whitetailproperties.com.
Visit one of our 21 state parks all over Louisiana.
Let's go to the state park. There are 21 of them, you know. And state parks have biking and hiking, tubing, and we can even ride horses. Or we can go exploring and even swim by a beach. They have cabins, really nice ones, with long fishing piers.
Don't forget to tell them about the discounts.
Oh yeah, book 3 nights and we get the 4th night free.
Great job.
Thanks.
Louisiana State Parks, we're ready for your adventure.
I had a meeting with Dr. Barfield and it kind of just hit me. It probably is cancer. After the surgery, I wasn't scared anymore. I was looking forward to getting started with chemo. Not one time did I get a nurse in a bad mood. I was here for 5 hours at a time, and I did not dread coming. To get people from around the country to come to Baton Rouge, that says a lot right there. That this place is cutting edge.
Sakes, you are still with us at Rocket Right Radio. I'm Dr. Kay Solar in the house with Hurricane Betsy Barnes, and she is flitting around here like a hurricane. We're going to be talking about a lot of fun, but before that, I have to pass out some cake balls.
These are the best cake balls.
Mm-hmm. We are hanging out in the Partners One studio, participating in a variety of cake balls from Brouhaha, which you can not only pick up great cake balls, you can pick up pup cakes for your puppies, and occasionally you can pick up a whole dog there when they have their pup adoptions. I'm just saying.
That's right.
So, which I really could have taken them all home. I did go get 2 pup cakes today. And my 2 at home loved it. My son wanted to know if he could eat one because they look so good. But
That's
I said,
really
no, we got the cake balls. And so this is the game part. And we're going to talk about more fun. But the fun starting out right now is you have to pick your cake ball. And you have to guess what you're eating because I have the variety pack. Okay. And while we do this, Betsy, introduce our
yes. As you're making them put something in their mouth where it'll be more difficult for them to explain, we have the Central Police Department Assistant Chief Cliff Ivey. And Cliff is going to tell us some of the things that they're going to do with this protective gear that we're raising funds for. And Debbie Dougherty has been a forever friend of mine. We've gotten into a little trouble fundraising and doing some different things in the community, but we've always had fun. And Debbie used to be a more regular guest, but she got really busy with the Central PD, so we're really glad that you came back.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well,
we brought cake boss for the occasion.
That's right.
We were glad to
We're
have you.
celebrating.
Yeah.
So whenever you put food and music together, everybody wants to come and have a good time, and especially in the post-pandemic. So you might be wearing a mask, you might not be, but you're going to be dancing to Chase Tyler and Carbon Copy Band as you get a plate of jambalaya. And this is being sponsored by quite a few businesses. So Cliff, go ahead and tell us a little bit about why we are getting together August 28th in Central at Kristenwood on Greenville Springs Road.
Well, it is a fundraiser to raise money to put towards Angel Armor rifle vests for all of our police officers. They will be what's called a level 3 vests, and they're designed to stop the majority of rifle rounds that you find common in America today.
So Angel Armor, we're familiar with it because we've talked with Pat Inglade and Greg Ferries with Caliph. We've done things and supported what they're doing, but there's not a lot of money in city government budgets for this type of thing because it is an expensive piece of equipment.
True. Traditionally, cities have offered, and state governments have offered, what's called soft body armor that is typically worn underneath a uniform shirt. But those are designed only to stop the majority of pistol rounds. But as we've seen, certainly in 2016, that folks are a little bit better armed these days, and they're much more willing to use them against law enforcement. So that's the purpose behind the purchase of these vests.
So every day we see things in the news about drug dealers having cash, pretty serious weapons, things like that. If somebody's got a business and they're churning out hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of drugs, they're going to do whatever they can to prevent being caught. And if that means killing a police officer, that happens. And these particular vests are created to protect the officers.
Correct, and they also protect themselves from their competitors. I mean, this isn't Rite Aid competing with CVS.
Right.
I mean, it's typically, there's a lot of violence associated with that trade, and they want to protect their assets as well.
Yes, they want to cover their assets.
Cover their assets from their competition, yes.
So, being familiar with Angel Armor and the need for Angel Armor, Debbie, you talked to a few different people to gather a few things. So tell us some of the things that are going to be auctioned and some of the opportunities people have to come and bring a little cash and support law enforcement. And this is not just, this is for Central officers, but people from other places are passing through Central all the time. All the time. So you never know who's coming through any town now.
Exactly. We've got Tony Acord from Southern Air's auction that's going to be holding a live auction. And some of the things that have come our way, and they're still coming in every day. We've got a 3-day turkey hunt at Mesquite Tree Ranch in Texas. We have a 30-minute helicopter ride.
Oh, I want that.
Right? We could do that. A 6-foot cypress swing. I had a friend of mine call me, and he sent me these pictures. He's closing down an older home, and he said, can you use some of these antiques? And they're gorgeous. And I said, yeah, how much? He said, bring your truck. Saturday, we went and brought a trailer and 2 truckloads full of antique furniture to auction off. We've got antiques from other vendors that are just, I'm just kind of floored, you know. Catering party, this is being held at Kristenwood on Greenville Springs Road. And Beth and Spencer have put into the pot a party for 50, completely catered.
A party for 50, that's huge.
Party for 50. I've got one lady, one of our officers said, my son's getting married. I'll be bidding too.
Yeah, there'd be 50 people there.
Right. and Sweet Melissa's Confectionery and Photobella will be part of that package. And Photobella will be there at the event too. We've got a catered dinner by one of our reserve officers who is a chef, John Reason, and it's a catered event at your home for up to 10 guests, whatever you want.
That sounds awesome. Good.
Kane sent us a big basket with gift certificates. We are putting together a large restaurant package. and we're going to auction that off as one. So you may get 20 gift cards to 20 different restaurants.
Which is such a treat because you can give them as a gift or you can use them.
Correct.
You know, good thing to do.
And we also have a round of golf at Greystone Country Club for 4.
So how many jambalaya cooking teams do you currently have?
15.
And can you hold more?
Yeah, and you can. You can.
So you have a lot of big support. So CIA, tell us what CIA stands for. And this is not the CIA you're thinking.
This is Cast Iron Associates, and they put together a group after the 2016 flood. It's a bunch of really good guys. They supply all of their equipment and all of the food, and they've gone to Lake Charles. They've gone to Houston. They've just wherever there's a need.
Yeah.
These guys just pack up and go.
And they raise money and they feed folks.
And they can cook.
Oh, they can cook. So they're going to be doing cooking. And so you have Chase Tyler Band, you have Colby Swift, you have Carbon Copy Band. Eagle 98.1 is going to be out there live. Right. Lieutenant Governor Billy Nungesser is going to be sponsoring with Louisiana Seafood, and that's going to be shrimp and catfish.
Yeah, he made that offer.
Yeah, that's really good.
And it's big. And we're
going to be selling those plates.
We're going to have fried fish and boiled shrimp and jambalaya.
And Old Soul is going to be playing out there. So you got jambalaya plates for $10, fried fish plates for $10, shrimp plates for $15, live auction 12 to 9. You've got
and a cornhole tournament. Don't forget that.
And a cornhole tournament.
And it all starts at what time, Betsy?
Noon.
And where do you go to find out more?
Central Police Department Facebook page.
Facebook page, correct.
Assistant Chief Cliff Ivey, Debbie Dougherty. We know it's going to be so much fun. I'm going to be there too. I'm one of the judges, so I'm looking forward to that. Kay, you can hop in too. And we're going to be back with you next week on Rock It Right. Just remember, if you're going to rock it, make sure you rock it right.
Are you a business owner that could use just one more customer? Those empty tables, vacant appointments, idle employees, and expired merchandise are missed opportunities. What if there were a community that connects you to high-value and motivated customers, giving you a competitive edge in the marketplace and increasing your revenue? Introducing Partners One. You keep doing what you do best, taking care of your customers, and we'll do what we do best, sending you new customers to take care of. Call us today to find out how Partners One can work for your business.
Rock It Right with Betsy Barnes and Dr. Kay Solar is brought to you by these generous sponsors. Partners One, better barter for Baton Rouge and beyond.
Mary Bird Perkins, Our Lady of the Lake Cancer Center, Selassie Jewelry and Fine Gifts, Advantage Health Solutions with Dr. Boyd Michael Helm, Hightower Dental Concepts with Dr. Leah Larson, City Group Hospitality including City Pork Brasserie and Bar, City Pork Catering, City Slice, City Taco, Rouge Creole, and Beau Soleil.
Talent 360 Consulting with Vicki Little, Jeff Taylor, Realtor and Forester with Whitetail Properties. The 3rd Street Songwriters Festival, Elite Chiropractic with Dr. Ron McMorris, LouisianaIsATrip.com, Take One. Thank you for making our show possible.